Hey, this is David Zere. You're watching Breaking Point. Thank you for joining the Rav family. Remember when the Democrats said there was voter fraud and hacked voting machines, and Stacey Abrams contested the election forever, refusing to certify election results of members of Congress like Maxine Waters? Why was that okay? And remember when vice presidents took home classified docs that they were not allowed to, like Trump was? And Trump could even dispose of those documents, according to the Presidential Records Act. And the last decision by Judge Amy Berman Jackson, which has never been challenged. But I have a great show for you today. A little bit later, we're going to bring in families of J6ers and people documenting what's going on, the unfair treatment, our corrupt court system. It's just devastating what these people are going through, waiting years for trials, no due process, no Sixth Amendment. You can't trust anybody. Very extraordinary what's going on. But I want to get right into our first guest, somebody who I know indirectly, very closely. He took my family to Israel. Tom Trento, how are you?
David, I'm doing very well, and you have an amazing family, and our hearts are still broken over your sister.
Well, that means a lot. Thank you so much. She was a patriot. She fought for our country, her business, and her family. So, Tom Trento, you have an exciting project going on. You're the CEO of Defend the Border. And I watched episode 1 of your Tom Homan 10-part expose about the border. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, essentially for your viewers, your listeners, if they were to imagine, I want everybody to imagine for a minute your home, your big, beautiful home, wherever you may live, and the federal government comes and takes out one side of your home. They demolish one side and they invite everybody in the world to come on in and go live inside that home. That's what's happened to our home in the United States of America. We made a movie. It's the first of 10 episodes. Tom Homan on the border, exposing exactly what Joe Biden has done with his disastrous planned open border policies.
I love the exchange between the corrupt Democrats in Congress of Tom Homan, where they question his integrity and we're basically saying he's a racist. And then he shuts down AOC, and the guy says, I forgot what Representative Chewy says, have you ever held a dead child? And, maybe they're not the same color as you. That's why you don't care. And he's like, I did. I was baptized by fire. When he first came into law enforcement, he had to hold a 5-year-old boy who died under his father in the back of the truck. Tell us about that.
That's featured in our 45-minute documentary, Death County and the River of Broken Dreams. And when I first saw that a couple of years ago, that clip you're talking about where Tom was testifying before the U.S. Congress, I said, this has to be set up. This guy asking this, doesn't he know Tom's background? And I'll leave it for your viewers to go to our website, defendtheborder.org, watch it. It is one of the most amazing, unbelievable moments in the U.S. Congress, featuring Tom Homan answering AOC and several others there. Yeah, Tom rose, David, from a beat cop in upstate New York as a kid, 21 years old. And he worked on the border 34 years and rose to the top of ICE, Immigration Customs Enforcement. He started working, listen to this, he started working when President Reagan was president.
Yeah.
He's worked for 6 presidents. Obama gave him a medal. Trump gave him a medal. And we bring him out before the American people.
Right. Well, what we love about Tom Homan is, and I've been working a little bit with them through the America First Warehouse and Border 911, really incredible people, and Jason Jones and Forrest and McLean and everybody, just a great crew, Liz Scott. What I love about him is he's down to earth and there's no pretense. There's zero pretense, right? He's not a Mayorkas, that's for sure.
No, this is a guy who he's a tough cop with a soft heart. And when I first met him a couple of years ago, it hit me very quickly. There's a story here; it needs to be told. And I went and talked to my good friend Chris Burgard, who's an amazing film director, producer, and he did a great film on J6 called Capital Punishment. And we brought Chris on board, and he put together the 45-minute documentary, Death County. Death County is Brooks County in Texas, 70 miles north of the Mexican border, where every day, if I take you now, I come up to New York and pick you up and we go down to Brooks County. Tomorrow we can go with the sheriffs and pick up a dead body. And it's a metaphor for what's going on all over the southern border. And the River of Broken Dreams, the Rio Grande River, where people think, oh, if I cross that, my life is going to be great. Screw that thinking. The cartels control the people coming, and they control their lives here in America. And Biden is at fault for all of this.
Yeah, now we know the wristbands are attached to people, and they're tracking them either through sex slavery or debt bondage. So tell us about Death County. Is it a staging area? Why is it so far deep into the United States?
Well, what happens is the border is the 2,000-mile border for Texas to California. They're particularly in the key areas of Texas and Arizona. They've got to travel quite a distance to get to an interstate. It's really no man's land, cattle ranchers and all of that, and mountainous deserts. And so when they start that trek, that 70-mile trek, which could take 3-4 days, only the strong survive. And if there's 6 of them and 2 are sick, and it just so happens that at that 70-mile mark, many of them just fail physically, and there's no one there to rescue them. They're all by themselves, and they die. And Brooks County scoops up hundreds and hundreds and hundreds per year. And we have Tom picking up the bones of these sadly deceased persons. Yeah. The name of his book is is Defend the Border and Save Lives. We're trying to do this humanely, David.
Well, that's what the truth is, and the Democrats don't care about human life. You know, the thousands that get killed on the other side of the border, the thousands that die on this side of the border or have died or drowned in the river, the 90,000 kids that are missing at the border, they don't care. They trek up from the Darien Gap. 30% of the women get assaulted, right? So tell us a little bit about what has the CPB-1 app done to the illegal crossings? It's changed the dynamic, right? Now it's legal, illegal immigration.
Exactly. I have the CPB-1 app on my phone, and I started filling it out. And I couldn't do it because, you're supposed to swear that this is true. And 90% of the people absolutely lie. But theoretically, in a technical age, it's designed to expedite the process for legal asylum. Well, we're begging the question, if this person doesn't have the criteria to be here legally, why are we expediting it? And all the app does is take, let's say you got 100,000 people over here in this area A, and they're trying to go over the river and all that, and all these resources. Biden made an app and said, fill out the app and we'll let you in. You don't have to go through the river. You don't have to do anything. And this is the biggest con job on Americans you've ever seen. 90% of the 5 million that he has brought in illegally since he started have no legal right to asylum. It's a scam.
It is a scam, and then they don't even show up for the hearing. I heard that it shifted from Texas to Arizona, the monthly numbers, because so many people are now being invited to the ports of entry, and those numbers are record highs, right, at the ports of entry.
Yeah. We have over 300 legal ports of entry in the United States, and he's just jamming them into these various areas. So wherever the weather happens to be best, or whatever cartel may be in charge for that month, then that's usually, the cartels have divided up the United States into various sectors they control. So whatever cartel is superior, it may switch to Arizona or over to Texas, an area there. But the bottom line is the border is open, and this is nothing other than a globalist expansion by the Democrats, who do not believe in private property, and they don't believe that a country should have its own border, number one. And number two, this is a massive Democrat voter registration drive. Throw these poor people in, force them to be dependent upon us. In 5 to 10 years, they'll be voting Democrat, or we'll crush them and conservatives will never see the light of day again in America.
Yeah, by the year's end, we'll probably have 160,000 illegals in New York City. All our hotels have been destroyed. It's just an exceptional situation. It's unbelievable. Living on the street, living in our parks. We have a minute left. Tom, tell our viewers where they can follow you, where they can watch your stuff, and watch this documentary.
Yeah, the bottom line is what we're doing is a comprehensive campaign featuring Tom Homan to educate Americans to vote intelligently for border security candidates in 2024 November. Go to our website, defendtheborder.org, sign up, join us. We'll get you involved. Watch the movie first. And if you can, donate. We're a 501c3. In fact, David, we're looking for some executive producers to help fund each episode. Come with us for 3 weeks on the border. Your life will be changed. You'll make a tremendous contribution to America. Defendtheborder.org. Thank you, David.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming on, Tom. I'd love to have you back, and I'm going to watch the documentaries as they get released. Very extraordinary. So thank you so much for all of your hard work.
My love to your family.
Wonderful, Tom. Thank you so much again. Tom Trento, he's the CEO of Defend the Border. He's made a 10-part documentary. Tom Homan has featured in them. What an incredible man Tom is. I want to thank everybody for watching Real America's Voice News. I'm David Zere. We love you watching the network and the Real Real American Voices out there. So we're fighting for you, and we'll be right back with more.